to welcome all of you to our live marketing presentation. This is based on research this marketing class has done. No, that's not right. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to our findings of our
Media educated.
So I
have them say that. That's what I'm trying to pull in.
I do have that kind of covered in my introduction as well.
Well, about the basis of the
Welcoming them, why we're doing this,
right.
things like that. So
Okay.
I mean, but because this is our I can move stuff, I can add stuff, we can.
I don't want to say too much.
Well, I was trying to keep mine because the presentation should speak for itself.
All right.
So my introduction is just going to be super brief.
All right. So good afternoon. Good morning. I would like to welcome our guests who are. I haven't rehearsed this at all. I'd like to welcome our guests who have agreed to come and listen to our presentation. This has been almost a quarter-long project that the marketing class has done in conjunction with community education with Mary's team. And so we'll talk about what we analyzed, how we researched it, and our finding results. So I'd like to introduce Andy Williams. Andy is Dean of the Business Division at Edmonds Community College. I'll figure out how long he's been Dean. I'm going to have to tweak some of this. I'd like to welcome Mary Heffernan, who is Director of Community Education, and two of her teammates. I don't have their names yet. She's out of the state till next week. And then I'd like to welcome Ann Paulson, who is Department Chair for Business Management, and Chuck Loomis, who is an independent businessman and also teaches entrepreneurship at Edmonds Community College. In addition to that, I'd like to welcome Joe St. Laurent, attorney at law. Joe is an alumni of both Edmonds Community College and Central Washington University. And so I just think his presence here is going to help students realize what you can achieve when you take your first academic step. So welcome and thank you for coming. I'll get better at runs. Okay.
Well, like I said, mine is kind of, there's some repetition in mine. So I can modify mine based on what I just heard from you. So.
I didn't say much.
I know, but so mine is, hello, my name is Patrick.
All right, so come to the front, please.
Oh, okay.
Well, you don't want that light in your eye.
Yeah, well, I was sitting off to the side so that this would be visible. But so my name is Patrick Burke, and thank you for coming today. About 2 months ago, Joan presented our Principles of Marketing class with a proposal. Community education program wanted to get to improve upon what Mary and her team were already doing to increase enrollment. Joan felt it would be a good use of the materials that we were learning in class and presenting this in a real world setting. So using what we'd already learned in our marketing class, taking it against a program that's already in use, and seeing what ways we could incorporate what we have in mind. So after meeting with Mary, we began to evaluate all parts of the community education program and develop a few strategies to engage with the public and get their feedback. During the presentation, we will present our findings on public awareness of the community education at EDCC, at Edmonds Community College. Feedback received from the recent business symposium at the Linwood Convention Center. Potential avenues of expansion.
I'd like to hear small business symposium.
Okay. Feedback we received from the potential avenues of expansion based on interactions with local high school students. Suggestions for social media and comparisons against some of the other community education programs run by the local colleges. We hope the presentation will be useful and informative, and we thank you for your time and attention. Move on to.
Were you going to exit?
Thank you. Sorry.
And you should introduce the next group.
Yeah, I would. I just wasn't sure who was going to be next.
Flip over to that other browser.
How does this slide tie into what you're saying?
This was what Megan was doing, and it was before Megan and I had kind of handed off. So I didn't want to change it before I talked to her, so I'm going to go ahead and make some updates to this tonight. So tomorrow when we do our second practice, there'll be much more of this.
Are we going to run through this twice today? Is
We're gonna run through it now, and then we're gonna take a look at what Carol is filming for us.
Next up is Oscar and Carol. No, it's Eduardo and John, sorry.
Enter from here. Do you think you ought to sit with the people you're presenting with? Yes, okay, I do too. Okay, posture, none of this.
And this, not your pocket.
None of
Your
this.
pocket? That's your hand back?
Here,
Okay.
or one hand in your pocket. You're fine.
Like this?
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
yes,
Very good.
better.
Hello, my name is Eduardo Vargas, and I was one of the junior students from the Edmonds Community College to attend the business symposium. When I was there, I noticed everybody was well dressed, talking about business, something I wasn't used to. I've never done anything like this. So at first I was a little intimidated by them, you know, kind of thing in this type of situation. As time started to pass by, I got more comfortable to the point where I was able to like engage conversations, like asking them questions.
Does he need to talk slower?
Just a tad.
Yeah, can you start over? Yours is so personal and friendly, he engages me right away. All right, start over and just talk slower.
Hello, my name is Eduardo Vargas, and I was one of the students from Edmonds Community College to attend the business symposium. When I first got there, I noticed everybody was really well dressed and talking about business. I've never had anything like this before. It was kind of intimidating at first, but as time passed by, I started getting more used to it. Like, to the point where I get engaged in the conversation, started asking questions. When I was there, we asked them a series of 3 questions. The first question we asked was, do you know what community education is? The 35% knew what community education was, while the majority of 58 did not know did not know what community education was. That was kind of shocking. I expected more people to know what community education is. And the last 8% knew what community education is, but didn't know Edmonds offered it. Okay. The second question we asked was, would you be more willing to take a personal enrichment or a professional development class?
So, personal.
Personal enrichment.
I heard pistol.
Personal enrichment class or professional development class?
Slow down.
48% said they'd rather take a personal enrichment class, and 53% said they would take a professional development class. I think 52% said professional development because we were in a business-focused environment, so they were more wanting to like cement their business skills instead of learning a new skill, like a new fun skill. So the classes they brought up, John will go over it.
Okay, some of the feedback we got on the personal enrichment side was they'd like to learn more about languages and culture. I pointed out to them that we had 3 classes in Spanish and 1 in Vietnamese, and also off-site learning. Maybe take some field trips, go places that they haven't been before.
Such as?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I'd like to know such as.
I'll tell you.
Who got that question? Who got that feedback?
Okay, I'll tell you, such as, they expressed an interest in going to off-site locations for learning, such as the Boeing plant in Everett. Is
Okay.
that the, yeah, is that the 787 assembly? That one. Such as the Boeing plant in Everett.
And this is specific to the small business symposium. Because the high schools said the same thing.
Okay, so such as the Boeing plant in Everett and
Well, the Boeing assembly plant.
the Boeing assembly plant in Everett. Also expressed interest in culinary, maybe learning how to cook or bake, and also dance, ballroom dancing or modern dance. On the professional side, we got the feedback was based on business management, marketing skills for their business, which social media, how to use social media to their advantage, and networking through social media, resume writing, and how to start a small business. These were some of the feedback. This is some of the feedback we got from the participants at the business symposium.
The last question we asked was, is your company willing to sponsor an employee? 44 companies said yes, and 40 companies said no. There's a couple of reasons why they said no. First off, the firm was too small, so they can't
when you said, now, I like how you started with 40% said no, here are the reasons. So go over here and actually point to that, because this is really hard to see. It's faded. So firm is too small, and then point to each one. If you're comfortable doing that.
That's fine.
You're pushing yourself.
Yes, here we go.
All right, go ahead, so start over with this slide.
So the last question we asked is, a company willing to sponsor an employee? 44 companies said yes, we will, and 40 companies said no. There's a couple reasons why they said no. The first reason was the firm was too small, or they were a federal company, or they were a large company that already had an established training program, so they just need us. Another reason why is because right now we have 2 business classes, grant writing for nonprofits 101 and 102. Not very many businesses can actually use that for themselves. So there's no real use.
Say that again, we only have what?
Grants writing for nonprofits 101 and 102. So there's not much use for those classes for some of the bigger businesses. Alright, so these were the results we got for the business symposium. Alright, so these are the results we got for the business symposium. A lot of them wanted to like have more business classes, but we don't offer any more business classes. We really need to offer more business classes. We only have 2 right now. We need to expand on that. We should also open a booth at the business symposium next time, so we can spread the community education to the business environment even more. Because right now we just have students going. We should open a booth also. That's it.
All right, the dean of the business division sitting here, and he's going to hear your 1 and 2 business classes? Not true.
Or the, but for what we are looking at, I mean, for what the brochure that we got, that we're
Okay,
going off of.
you've got to
We're not
refer back to that.
specific to the continuing education
Yes.
program at.
Can you add that in there? You have to add that in there. All right,
Do you want to think that now and talk about it later?
I want it as we go along first run through.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
First run
Can you
through.
pen?
Okay, so can you back up and add that in there?
Yeah. So should I just study them already? No. Okay, so right now we're only offering 2 business classes in the community education.
Community
program.
education, yes.
And therefore, most businesses can't use us as a resource. We still don't offer very much right now for community education. What we can do is add more business classes to the community education, and maybe open a booth at the business symposium so they know who we are, and so we can spread community education throughout the business environment even more.
So we did have a booth.
That
I was
for-
behind the booth. So I know we had a booth.
Yeah,
But it may not have been advertised well. As soon as you walked in the door, we were straight ahead.
It was
Yeah, that booth, okay.
Yeah, it was an EDCC booth, but it wasn't focused, I guess, on.
It wasn't very, I agree, it wasn't closely representative. But if you didn't even realize we had a booth, that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking more in that one hall, we didn't have a booth there. But I remember seeing Edmonds Community College had a booth out there.
we had a booth, we were one of the sponsors of the event.
True, okay, yeah. But you know what, I wrote that down. Added that into a speech. I didn't realize we had a booth there.
That's huge feedback, that's great feedback. So we were there and we didn't.
We didn't even know it, all right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, that concludes my summary.
Okay.
That's how I want you to say it. This concludes my summary of our research at the business symposium. Okay. Now, should we have questions after each section or at the end?
At the end.
I think it might be better to do it immediately, just because.
It's
the
fresh on
people-
their minds.
Well, the people that are also dealing with that are right there.
Yes.
So they can hit there, but I think try and also limit it so that it doesn't slow down the presentation too long. So
Okay.
maybe give just a couple minutes.
What questions would they ask? That's important
I'll
to be
tell you what
prepared.
they'd ask. They're gonna shoot their hand up and say, what do you suggest for community education business classes?
Are we gonna do that at the end? Have a,
Well, we're talking about it.
Well, because after this, they go into high school, so then we might, I'm just saying, you know.
Okay, I thought we had a wrap up
All
at
right,
the end.
let's
That's cool.
hold the questions. If one of our guests say, I have a question, then we have to take it. We have
Exactly.
to field that question. But let's not offer questions at
You
the
know,
end.
these questions specific to
I'm thinking you
Yes.
do all at
Small
the end
business.
so that they can have their question right down to,
Okay.
and then they can think about it before they
Those
respond.
changes?
So,
Right,
Joe?
100% better.
Where you go, you're opening.
Wait,
Are we giving
Carol?
them notepads in front of them, or are we giving them notepads?
You can have
to-
notepads,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not them, no, the like guests, so they can write down questions as they go along, so we can introduce that at the beginning if you have
yeah,
any questions.
Carol was just saying that too, where if we, and especially if Joseph is doing the wrap up in the end, that's probably a good idea to then hold it off until the end, and that way
Okay.
he may answer questions that they have.
Who took the culinary and dance feedback? Was that from the high school or from us?
I had one dance, I had more music than I had dance.
Okay,
I
you had
some
music?
culinary,
Okay,
like guitar lessons I had, and I
okay,
had a couple instruments.
you had music? Because dance, I ad-libbed that.
And I had somebody who wanted ballroom, but Edmonds or Linwood Center, they all offered cheap, so,
I'll put down music.
but yeah, no, dance is fun.
Okay, no, you,
I love dance, never eliminate dance.
okay, that's cool. I just want to make sure if they go, what kind of dance would you like to see? Ugh.
Do you want food bag?
Okay,
Is this the time?
Do you have some?
It's a lot of people said yes, so maybe this needs to be stretched out, but instead of 44 to 40, it's 0 to 44, because it's really not that big of a gap, 4 is pretty small, so.
You could probably reduce some of that white space in there.
All right, who's got access to that? Megan?
I don't know who designed, who developed the
I
graphic.
took that from the surveys that we had, so that's from the
Okay, so
data
it was from
that
the
we
already
looked
came
at.
up. So maybe somebody can make a quick Excel graph that was a little more, showed a little more view.
And who's going to do that? Who wants to do that?
I can do that. And I
Yeah,
have
because there's only a 4% spread,
small spread.
and it looks like
When I
it's.
put it in, cause like when I tried to add a graph from the Google, it was only giving me that, so I didn't
Yeah.
really know how to go.
Yeah, I think you need to do a separate graph, so I'll see if I can come up with something that looks close. And then I have one other thing. First of all, you guys looked really good at the audience, like, you like looked everybody in the eye and you spoke well and rarely loud enough, so. I noticed like this slide, you just read off the slide, I mean, we were reading off all of the slides, and, they can read the slide, so to give them a little more than is already on the slide would be great, so maybe, like what you were, Eduardo, you were saying about what classes we offered and what classes we didn't offer a little bit, maybe that could be discussed a little bit, just something other than just reading the bullet points off the slide, right? What other content could we give them here? Like, hey, this we have, this we don't have, this we think would enhance our program, I don't know, that's just something.
Okay, so for language and culture, you mentioned 3 Spanish, 1 Vietnamese.
yeah, I didn't know if it's Vietnamese or Asian or.
Oh, you just
I
made it
got
up?
the thing right here, that's,
You just made that up?
Spanish, yeah, I ad-libbed on
All right,
that.
ad-libbed, much
Okay,
kinder.
we do have one here, tutoring arts, small,
We weren't
starting to do arts. Oh, beginning Italian. Okay, my bad, she was Asian.
All right, but you'll,
Wait a minute, this is the winter quarter, this isn't the one, this is winter 17, okay, yeah, sorry.
And we're not even offering the, variety of the, grants, because I wanted to take it and I looked at it and we're not even offering it. We offered it at some point, but we're not offering it.
Because we were passing out the other
so we have
ones.
to take that
So
out.
I'm just saying, yeah, we're not, we
Okay.
actually, it changes what we offer each quarter, I guess.
Yeah, because the first one we got had some different classes on it. But I'll give this to you so you can read up on Italian.
Totally
got
take
it.
it, writing it there.
Okay, 3 Spanish classes, 1 Italian.
Those were first. So next we have Carol and Oscar. Did anybody else have feedback on that?
So you're gonna walk up the center aisle.
Spanish 1 Italian.
Remove your hat. Leave your hat at your desk. He has some very dapper clothes on today because he thought the presentation was today.
And I listened to him to wear,
And you too?
yeah, I did.
Who Look at you, pretty clothes on today. All right.
Hello everyone, I'm Carol and this is Oscar. We're presenting the results for high school survey at Meadowdale High School. So these are the survey that you can look it up, and we do have the result from the book.
Okay, so I found that if you pass something around while you're talking, they stop looking at the presenters. So we have the results of all the surveys, and
I will have to punch it and put it there.
okay, we have the results of all the surveys. This is available for review after our presentation. So don't pass it around.
Okay. So Meadowdale High School is a public high school in Edmund Stick Street. The time that we were trying to get into the high school, we had a hard time because the security in high school is pretty strict. So the day we went, we are allowed to wait in during lunchtime. It was like a lot of kids in there and had loud music, so they were like really hard to get attention from us. So we're like trying to talk loud and we tell them about the community education, and we show them the paper of what class they go for stuff. So when the time we talk to them like, oh, this thing can help you for your university application or work resume, they were like, oh, let me look it up, and they were like trying to do survey, and they are asking questions like, well, what else will they help if they do these classes or stuff. So we explain about the system, and they were interested to take the survey. So now I'm gonna pass to Oscar to see the result.
Thank you, Carol. So, according to the survey, we have interrogated several students about the career and in community education. Then we found out that students are interested in fields such as computer science, sport, athletic, medical science, and engineering.
So say that again. We found that students are interested in computer science.
Yeah. This I change athletic to sport,
Ah, that's what confused me. All right.
but I'm kind of thinking of if there is a word to replace this word.
Medical science.
Yes.
I don't know what medical science is. What does that mean to you?
I think next door they're teaching it pharmacy and stuff like that,
Nursing.
to be medical science, yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people want to be doctor and nurse and stuff.
Okay.
I was thinking to replace it with health, but
I think medical is kind of important to me there, because like that's what, when I was doing surveys, they were all like specifically like, we actually didn't have a medical bubble, and they wrote in medical themselves, so they were interested in it. So like,
Yeah, and when I hear health, I think of yoga.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I think of a softer skill.
Yeah.
So we'll leave medical science. All right.
medical science. After we asked them if they were interested in community education, and we found out that 29% of sophomores are interested in community education, and 38% of juniors are interested in community education. In conclusion, we encourage schools to provide more classes in medical science, computer science, sport, and engineering for their students. I will pass it to
But wait, how does that tie in with community education? We are consultants for high school curriculum.
So these are the classes that we found the most popular in the survey.
Okay, so I think we might want to look at how can we incorporate some of those classes into community education. Do you understand, how?
I feel like if you're able to do that, you would have like a way bigger clientele, or way bigger, if you're able to get to that.
So our research shows that students are interested in these. So the question is, how can community education incorporate, establish?
Or the client.
Huh?
in order to grow your client base.
Right. Okay. In order to grow enrollment, we feel it's important for community education to maybe offer a class or two in some of these categories. Do you have that?
So we just need to fix what you're gonna say.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, those are things we're not doing. And then you have to pass to when we're doing social media. Yeah, so
All right.
then you're gonna pass to.
So your ending was very good. That concludes our presentation. All right?
Casey has one more stand up. Did you guys wanna do it together?
Shall we?
Pass to, and then,
I message you, we could meet there.
All right?
and then we're gonna.
Do we have to stay here or we have to?
You exit that way. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Casey, this is Jake, so we're talking about social media, and basically, like, the point that we wanna do is, like, how can you bring viewers in and get their attention and basically interested in the organization? A big trend right now in social media is short videos.
Okay, wait. Viewers,
Yeah, we can edit the words.
you mean viewers to community education?
Yeah, just like whoever, I don't know what to, like,
Let's
call,
not
like,
call
the
them
people on the
viewers.
site, like, what-
Let's call them,
Potential customers, potential students.
Response.
are they students in community education?
They would be students.
Okay, thank you.
But I think part of it too, you don't even wanna just captivate the students because you want like a bigger, like for the social media aspect, you want anyone looking at the page that you could, so I feel like students is limiting
Just
it.
limiting?
Or because you want like anyone the page basically, because even if someone's not interested in this class, it's a parent, for example, that just doesn't want to.
Let's call
put
them
their kid in
customers then,
something.
potential customers.
Okay, so strategies to captivate potential customers. So a huge trend right now in media, or in social media is basically videos. Like if you go on Facebook right now and look at timelines, there's videos all over. Right here is a link to a quick video of how I think we could easily, this one right here, is like a good way to get people's attention, especially for art. So this is a time lapse of a artist ad.
Okay, make it big, please. Hit the square button on the left. Thank you.
So get a student artist to come in.
That's good, Barbie, you're moving that along, all right.
So like you see that, it makes you want to be able to do that because there's so many classes. We have pottery, there's painting, drawings, all sorts of things. You could very easily do like a time-lapse video to get people interested and make them want to learn how. Another really cool strategy could be just before and after images or like start and finish. If you choose this one. So like for example, if it's like pottery, you could have like a picture of clay, how it starts, maybe of them like starting to mold it, and a picture of a bowl and it finished painting. It's like shows like anyone can really do it. It starts from this, where to go. Stories of information other than just like these classes is a huge way to get more people on the site because they want to look at the site just for what's going on in the community. It makes the page more interesting. It brings a lot more people. Like it could be something going on at the college that's not actually community education. It brings more people to the page and they want to keep looking at it. Another thing is you need to make sure you're frequently on the page because it just makes better with your potential customers. It lets them know that you're interested and makes them want to keep looking, basically. And then a better way to say that is probably not fun hashtagging things, but it's something that, like, for example, it could be find your passion, get involved, things that make people really want to be interested and go to community education.
Socialize, have fun, socialize.
Socialize, have fun, develop a new skill.
Yeah, it could be lots of things. So now, here's a link to the Facebook page, and Jake is going to show kind of what is going on with their page currently.
Okay, you have to talk much slower.
So kind of what we're doing almost is we're trying to manipulate how we show these kids what these classes mean by making it look like it's almost a social media. Because I've been tricked millions and millions of times viewing some stupid ad on social media. Takes you to another one, takes you to another one.
You might need to be logged
You
in.
do. So, I mean, I can log in unless you want to log in as you.
So the other day, we were discussing
testing social media, and we talked about what the response time was. Customers demand, like, they expect on social media their company to respond within a certain amount of time.
Right.
And so you were talking about that without that statistic. It might be cool to add that in, that today customers expect, you know, responses within this amount of time, and that would emphasize.
Okay, I'll bring that in. Research shows that all Twitter posts want a response time within, was it an hour?
Yeah, that was really good, and I don't know if you were here that day, but.
Can you add that?
Yeah.
in?
Sorry.
All right.
You were here.
And so pretty much this is our community education at Edmonds Community College page.
Is that the
And,
first part of the feed, Jake?
yeah, and
Alright.
if we just scroll through this really quick for the first time, you see a lot of reputation, kinda, I mean, I don't even know what the picture is that it is. Kinda just boring, you know, nothing really pops out. So the way that you can edit that is maybe fixing how we kinda advertise these kind of pictures, like Spanish beginning, you know, that doesn't really look too fun, I'm sorry, but.
Okay, let's practice not framing it negatively. Spanish beginning could be a lot more alive
Well,
if,
or
if
tricky
we
if we change this.
did something, I don't know what yet, okay. Yeah, we don't wanna tell Mary it's boring. All right. So here's Spanish beginning, we recommend to enliven this slide by having maybe some, what?
Color, yeah. some
Color, I'm
maybe
thinking color,
Fun activities, maybe some links to go to instead of.
that's it right there,
Avery.
have some links to go to. Okay. All right, go to the next one. We recommend someone editing this continually to remove duplicate postings,
Yeah.
okay?
It doesn't even all have to be pictures, it could be like something just of, like anything, like we were talking about getting involved, stuff like that, like it could be a lot of different things. Posting, they are doing a pretty good job posting frequently, but it's still very repetitive, a lot aren't, and it's not grabbing people's attention, so it could be a lot more to draw people in.
The other huge thing is time too, like you see that was posted at 6:04 a.m. Not many students would be up at that time. Or maybe it's a good time to post it because that's when students are gonna check their Facebook before they go to class. So I'm not really sure.
Remember the demographics,
Post something.
the people involved in this are in their mid-30s and 40s, so student, I just,
Maybe allowing a student to kind of work on the page with them and help them, because like you'll bring that age down. 'Cause
Okay.
Who we're trying to portray to is our age group.
okay.
So that sounds great. What we decided, what we did in this class, we were targeting the business symposium folks who are more like 30s, 40s, and then the teenage and early 20s, right? So we had two different age groups we were targeting.
The other thing is too, is like
But they both
timeline.
use Twitter.
For like frequency, you wanna be posting frequently throughout the day, but not frequently all at one time in the day, which is kind of a big thing, so like, yeah, you wanna have like maybe 10, 5 posts
Okay,
in that
so
day,
you
but
could
not
say
all at the same time.
Successful
It's
social
sporadic.
sites,
Yeah.
post throughout the day.
Yeah, so if, like, you could have, like, you're saying that you want, like, a lot of posts throughout the day, but if you have
Okay.
10 right in a row, people are gonna be like, okay, that's annoying, like, I'm just not gonna look at any of them, instead of, like, if you have it sporadically throughout the day, then they see it again, oh, that's cool, it reminds them again, it brings them back into it.
Okay. That includes your social, your social? All right, so who's
Pass
gonna
it
say
out.
that? Jake, you're gonna
Yeah,
step
I'll
to the
probably-
front
yeah.
and say that includes our research.
That concludes our research on social media, and we're gonna pass this to
Thank you.
Not yet. I
I'm
want,
not sure. Oh, here it is. Next one is, Nikita.
okay,
Are you ready?
Mm.
Are you ready?
Oh, I was thinking gonna do it tomorrow since my sister's gonna come here as well.
so you are not ready.
I mean, it is already.
Now, are you ready to, are you ready to present or no? Are you ready to present?
Up there? Excuse me, can you refresh that? So, yeah, suggestions. So, my suggestions are basically a compilation. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, it's basically a compilation. What we decided to do was to actually make suggestions on on the actual market research, okay? Because that's like the base and the most important part of the whole thing. You're trying to fill classes here, you know, and make money. So, you know, that's what it's all about. So it all begins with your market research. Your surveys are your best tool, you know, and obviously your social media is your best tool. So, you know, videos like was suggested, you know, just daily posts or, you know, at least a few times a week will be really helpful and getting better online presence. Maybe hire a designer or just find a student that could probably, you know, just help you design a web page that looks pretty good compositionally. What?
I was looking for a slide that said
Cool.
copy first.
Yeah, so on your surveys, what we noticed rounded out the surveys really well was you have to have a box for gender. You have to know if they're male or female. We missed that the first time, and but you know, it's so like a couple of us, we actually put the gender at the top and kind of guessed their age.
You want to tell why that's important, you think?
Yeah, it's important because you know you can you know target your market a little bit better. You have a better aim. You know, so of course you would want to like estimate their age and if it's a man or woman, you know, and you know, but like Mary told us, I think the ladies, their biggest market is women from 45 to 55 years old. So there could be a lot more out there, but you have to do research. Entrepreneurs, small business, you want to know if they're an entrepreneur or they're just a small business. How many employees do they have? You know, that will give you a good idea of like, you know, how much money they have to spend for these classes as like a benefits incentive. You also want to know, have you ever taken enrichment classes before, and why? Why not? And why have you? And what I've noticed, later on in the conclusions that people, you know, that have taken the classes before, like a lot of people actually know about these classes. And people who've taken them before, they have had a good experience and they're like excited when you bring it up to them. Like, yeah, you know, they brighten up. They remember the days. So they like the classes. It's just targeting the market and find out what people are. Business classes are really popular. You know what people really want. Writing classes are really popular. You like to write, you like poetry, just relax. You know, you have your enrichment classes, but you have your personal, you know, your personal things. People just want to just relax, you know, and they'll pay for that. And especially if they're learning something from someone who knows what they're talking about. So, more observations with people who graduate are not usually interested. Right? They already took, people who take the class are interested. And we'll probably take another one later on. Right now they're kind of busy. But people who just graduated, they're definitely like, don't seem to be trying to do anything related to school. They're just trying to work. Okay? So
Trying to get the careers going.
Yeah, you know, and some people, you know, that have businesses for a while, they feel like they're on the right track. Like, I realize there's an ego there. Like, nah, I don't need that. You know, I'm good. I have a good thing going right now. You know, so that's going to need more information to kind of cipher through that. Edmonds Community College education their education program is the average fee is $250. Yeah, North Seattle 60 to 350, $100 there. All right, that's a big difference. That's our competition. Now you don't want to, you know, put that on the brochure, you know, but you do want to kind of nonchalantly suggest that to a certain number of people. Videos on social platforms will strengthen your social media, of course. Okay. Definitely the brochure has to have pictures, just a couple pictures like it has, but the pictures have to be like the most popular classes, which you get from your research. All right. So my conclusion is, it all begins with market research, and you need to build a team, sales team, research team. First of all, I mean, 3 people, the Mastermind Alliance, establish your 4 Ps and your 4 Cs. 4 Ps first, that's the base, your 4 Cs, that's the now. That's the contemporary way to do it. Gather research from online analytics and in-person feedback, surveys, and negotiations. And we're trying to fill classes, which means have to target your market. And it all starts with that. But for this program here, I believe, if they have people out there, like, or not even out there, just have to be like people out there in uniforms doing surveys all day, but that helps. But definitely that online presence would be really helpful for this program.
That
This
concludes my.
concludes